Hey everyone, we were going to record a video for y'all with Tegan this morning. She is a little grumpy. It's one of those days. Her sleep schedule's been off a little bit lately. She's teething, so longer day naps and then just really odd hours when it comes to sleeping at night. So she woke up early this morning. She's a little grumpy. You can see usually she's a lot more energetic and all over the place. Poor TT. Right now, she just wants to be held. So we'll just talk a little bit more about kind of real estate stuff. Yeah, things are coming along on our second property. Again, it's a duplex that we're going to BRRRR. So basically, we're buying it. We found a lender that will basically cover 100% of the purchase and 100% of the rehab, up to 70% of the LTV. That's the loan to value. So you have what's called the ARV, the after repair value. So if that's say $100,000, this one's going to be more than $100,000. I'm just using kind of even money. Oh, you okay? I'm using even amounts just to make things easier for everyone to kind of visualize. So if the ARV is $100,000, 70% of the LTV, so after it's repaired, LTV becomes loan to value. That one's going to be 70% would be $70,000. So in other words, they'll cover the cost of the property and the rehab up to $70,000. So as long as your acquisition and rehab of the property is under $70,000, basically 100% of your project will get funded. Now, we do have to come in with closing costs. I think it's like 2 points. So I think on our deal, oh yes, that is a smile. I think on our deal, that's gonna be something like $2,400, something like that. It's relatively cheap. So that's not a big deal. We do have to fund the rehab upfront out of pocket. So the way most of these hard money lenders work is basically they say, all right, you fund X amount of the rehab, submit the receipts, we'll reimburse you, and just kind of keep doing that. So that's going to be that side of that. I think once we're done with it, we should be looking at cash flowing somewhere between $350 and $400 total. That's about $175 to $200 a door, which is pretty good. And I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about the BRRRR strategies. We were trying to get one more deal. We were trying to just get our first deal done and over with this year, and you know, we're already looking at getting into our second one. Granted, it won't be over with until we can refi it, but I mean, as long as we can get a renter in by the end of the year, to me, that's pretty much done with. We just got to refi it afterwards, after the 6-month waiting period. So that's where we're at right now. Oh, T, baby girl. So other news with real estate as well is my mentor and I are starting our first campaign. Should be in the next couple of days here. We have our systems in place. We're going to be sending out a whole bunch of mail. Basically we're just going to kind of funnel it down into serious prospects. So you kind of start with a wide range of whatever you're trying to target. So usually wholesalers create a list. Say it's a pre-foreclosure list. They'll send out their mailers depending on who responds and how the response is. They'll then usually do another strategy, like maybe a straight to voicemail message or something along those lines. Basically, it's the process of filtering it down so that you're finding that one essentially needle in the haystack. So that's coming up. Looking forward to really getting the ball rolling on that side of my business. I should only accelerate kind of our process and doing out-of-state buy and holds. And eventually replacing my wife's income. I mean, that's our 2 to 3 year goal at this point, is to see if we could replace my wife's income. Maybe she'll work at another year or two after we're able to replace her income. That way we kind of get a little bit above and ahead. Then we'll basically be moving to where cost of living is lower. Because if we, like up here, cost of living is so high, if we can replace her income, we were to move somewhere cheaper, like we're looking at Florida, our income's going to go a lot further. So we'll be able to keep reinvesting. And of course, I can take these strategies over there, take advantage of them over there, take advantage of the strategies over there. Oh, thank you. Oh, and there goes the camera. All right, got the camera fixed. That's the camera angle fixed. So that's pretty much what I got for you today. Aside from that, you know, still doing at least 2 hours of education a day. I'll wake up at 5 o'clock every morning to make sure right now I'm going through videos from an expo that I attended a couple weeks back, trying to take down notes on every speaker. There's like 40 plus speakers, so I'm trying to take notes down on every speaker. I also got my books on commercial investing, commercial being apartments and self-storage, so hoping to break out into that arena in the next 2 to 3 years as well. As far as books that I would recommend for this week, David Green's Long Distance Real Estate Investing. Awesome book if you're looking to invest out of state. Talks a lot about how it's important to build your team. So for me, that's my wholesaler, got my property manager. My wholesaler luckily connected me with great contractors. So that's really kind of what he hones in on, is you need to find a deal finder, be a wholesaler or a real estate agent of some sort. And that could even be property management. A lot of property managers are actually licensed as real estate agents. A lot of states require that. And they tend to work more with investors. That can actually be a better resource for you than standard real estate agent. A common misconception is real estate agents know about the investment world. And it's kind of like, no, they're basically salespeople of real estate. And there's nothing wrong with that. They just know what sells, what the trends are. They don't necessarily know what an investor is looking for. So you as an investor, you have different goals in mind than a real estate agent has or even realizes. That's one thing to think about if you're looking to work with a real estate agent. Not saying that they're not out there, but a lot of them will say they work with investors and they really don't know kind of what an investor is looking for. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that book. Again, especially if you're looking to invest out of state, it does really kind of give you a bit more peace of mind about today's modern era with the internet, investing out of state. So as always, thanks for joining us. I know Tegan's messing with the camera, so Sawadee.